Hello students, I hope all of you are fine. In the last class, we talked about Sigmund Freud's theory, and the name of his theory was psychoanalytical approach in the developmental approach of personality. So now we are going to start with the second developmental approach, and that approach is given by Erikson. Erikson, he accepted the theory, the approach that was given by Sigmund Freud, but he was disagree with him on the basis of some stages of development, because when Sigmund Freud was talking about the stages of development, but he explained that yes, we have five stages of development, that was oral, anal, phallic, latency and genital. And he was one sided, he was talking about the stages of development. On the other hand, he was only talking about the sexual desires and how the person finds out different ways to satisfy those sexual desires. So he was not completely agree with Sigmund Freud. Then Erikson did research on the stages of development, and finally he was able to conclude that yes, human basically he was able to conclude human development into the 8 stages of development. And here, if you are able to see this table, what he explained in this table, and the name of his theory is also called as psychosocial approach. So basically Erikson point of view was that the human development is depend upon the society, and when we are living in this society, we are going to meet with different people, we are going to face different situations, and whatever we are going to see, we are going to develop our personality according to them. So his another name of his theory is also 8 stages of psychosocial development. So if you are able to see in this, in this we are going to talk about the 8 stages. First of all, we will read the stage with age, then what should be the developmental task, what is the central issue and significant relationship, and favorable outcome. So the name of the first stage is infancy. This is from 0 to 18 month, means when a child take birth till 1.5 year, because according to him, human development starts immediately after we take birth. So in the infancy stage, the child is having the significant relationship with mother only. Now the question is, how can we say that the child is having infant is having significant relationship with mother only? Because before the birth, the infant was in the womb of the mother, so he can or she can sense only the fragrance or the body odor of the mother also. He or she was safe in the womb, and now when he came out, when he take birth, immediately after taking the birth, he is just able to identify the touch, the body of his or her mother also, mother only, sorry. So in this, that infant is going to test the, you can say, the trustworthiness of the mother. If mother is able to give proper love and care to the infant, then the infant is going to develop trust inside him. On the other hand, if she is not able to give the proper love, care, whatever is required to that infant, then the child is going to develop mistrust, and the favorable outcome will be faith. I'm going to give you one example, and uh, so that you can understand it in a better way. A child takes birth, and immediately he or she needs the love of the mother. In that case, means till the age of 1.5 year, according to the psychology, that infant, most of the time that infant or that mother should spend some time together till the age of 1.5 year. Most of the time that infant should be in the lap of or with the hands of, in the hands of his mother only. So if because he is going to test his relationship with the mother, if mother is able to do so, means the proper care, attention, love, whatever is required for an infant, if she is able to give that love and care to the child, then he is going to develop trust inside him. And this is a psychosocial factor that he is going to develop. I have seen many of the people in my life. These people are not having not able to trust on someone. They are suffering from this trust issues factor. The reason behind this trust issue factor is that now we can correlate these things, that when it was required for them, the mother was not able to give that trust to them, that love to them. That is why they are less in trust nowadays. So that means overall, if she is able to give that proper love and care, then he is going to develop the positive outcome, that is the faith. Now we will move towards the second stage, that is the early childhood stage. It is from 18 months to 3 years. In this stage, the child is having significant relationship with parents, means mother and father both. So in this stage, now this child is going to test the capabilities of his parents with him, or as well as with each other. So basically, in this stage, this child is observing his parents. If parents, means mother and father both, they are able to give proper love, care, attentions, they are playing their responsibility in a well manner, then this child is going to develop autonomy in his behavior. That means willpower, means he's going to develop a very positive thing inside him, that yes, if my parents can do, they are playing their responsibility in a well manner, they are loving, they are caring. So that means basically love, positive feeling, responsibility, willpower, these are the certain things that develops during this age stage. Means yes, if my parents can do, then I can also do. That is called as willpower. On the other hand, you may have seen some parents, they are just fighting with each other, they are not playing their responsibilities in a well manner, they are simply blaming each others for not playing the responsibilities. Or sometimes they, it may be that they are lacking love, they are lacking trust, they are having some trust issues with each other. And this is all what the child is observing in their parents. And yes, he or she is going to develop shame and doubt inside him. So that means, and even sometime the child may have questions like, are they my parents, or I am their son or daughter? If they are fighting like this, then how I don't know even why am I here. So that means such kind of questions that can arise in the mind of that child, shame and doubt. Then the third, moving towards the third stage, that is the childhood stage. In this stage, this is from 3 to 5 years, and the child will start developing their relationship with the basic family members. These basic family members are grandparents, that includes uncle, aunt, siblings. So now you may have seen some children, so it may be that it may happen with you also, that when you are interacting yourself with the basic family members, so here the child is going to test out the availabilities to the compete in the outside world. In this stage, basically a child start observing each of the family member, and whatever they are doing, the child also wants to take the initiative. For example, if grandmother or the mother or other siblings, they are doing some work in the kitchen, the child also want to do the same thing. And or if xyz person is doing cleaning the room, he or she also copying the same behavior. That means the now the child wants to take the initiative. So in this stage, when the child wants to take the initiative, if basic family members, means the family members, they are very supportive, and yes, they are allowing them to take the initiative, in that stage he is going to develop purpose inside his behavior. And on the other hand, I have seen many of the basic family members, whatever or whenever a child wants to take some initiative, most of the time they stop, because they just don't want to just see the the things like it may be that let's say if a child, you are just in the kitchen and you are let's say you're cooking something, and now the child will come to you and he or she asks that I also want to do the same thing, and you just scold that child, and you just show your anger, then don't do this thing, let me do my own work. So that means that is going to affect your child in a negative way, and he or she can develop guilt inside his behavior, because he feels like I'm not able to do anything in my life. On the other hand, if every time, it may be that that task is the smallest task, but if the child wants to do that thing, then motivate the child rather than neglecting him or her, because that is going to develop a very positive outcome in that behavior, in that person's child behavior. That is the purpose. Then moving towards the next stage, the name of the stage is late childhood stage. This is from 5 to 12 years. In this stage, the child is starts going to the school, and yes, he start developing his relationship with the school members like teachers, classmates, busmates, or any other friends. So when he is going to the school, he start gaining mastery of the cultural tools. Now if you have seen that movie Tare Zameen Par, in that movie what exactly happened, there was a boy named Ishan. When this Ishan, he was having some difficulty in learning, and then due to that thing, due to dyslexia, he was not able to concentrate in the class, because he was not able to see the words as a normal kid can do. And but he was not able to express that thing to the teachers or even not to the parents. Everyone was neglecting the child. So this was the stage when he was able to gain mastery over the cultural tools. Everyone was just looking for the results. On the other hand, he was facing some difficulties, but side by side he was having his own competency skill inside him. And then he was just getting punished, and every time parents, they were scolding, teachers were scolding him, and the classmates and the friends, they were just they were just making fun of for him. Then at last, when this person Amir Khan, he entered as a psychologist in the classroom, then he was able to see that what was his actual problem. And then he just you can say he developed that competency skill inside him by understanding his problem. So that means late childhood is the stage when the child is going to gain mastery over the cultural tools. So in this stage, the responsibility of the teachers and the parents should be on the child, so that they must motivate them. If xyz student is facing some problem, they must understand their problem, so that they can work on their competency skills rather than developing some kind of inferiority complex in them. Because if the competency skills are neglected once, then the child is going to develop inferiority complex in his or her behavior. Then the next stage is adolescent stage. It is from 12 to 19 years. In this stage, the child is going to develop the significant relationship with the peer group only. That means he is going to develop a sense of personal identity. This is the age stage when a person, he or she, is going to think about his own identity, that what exactly I want to do in my life. That means his whole focus is on how means what exactly he wants to or she wants to become. So in this stage, as a parent, as a teachers, it is our responsibility to help that student in making their own identity by their own self. If we are able to, if a child is able to do so, that means he will be able to understand what exactly he wants to become, and he is going to focus his whole energies on making that identity. On the other hand, if once it is being like neglected, then his overall role is going to be diffused. And in this stage, peer group plays important role. If you remember, when you were in 12 to 19 years, right now also you are in this stage, Your peer group plays important role in this stage. What kind of peer group you have? If your peer group is motivating you, that yes, we can do this thing, we can do this thing, yes, I think we must study now, so that means this is going to means you are going to put your all energy on your identity making. On the other hand, if your peer group is not supportive, in that case then your whole role is going to be diffused. Then the next stage is early adulthood. This is from 20 to 40 years. In this age stage, uh, basically your significant relationship is with friends. So when you are 20 to 40 years old, yes, now you need a person with whom you can share your feelings, with whom you can intimate with that person. So merging to identify with another to achieve intimacy. You want a person with whom you can share your physical intimacy, your feelings, your each and everything. And in this age, because you just want love from that, you want to love that person and you want love from that person also. On the other hand, if xyz person is not able to find out their love in this stage, then isolation is going to be there. Means uh, if if there is a positive outcome, he'll be able to find out his love. On the other hand, he is going to meet with the isolation. Then the mature adulthood stage, this is from 40 to 65 years, and this the person's whole focus is on household activities, and basically he start investing his all creative energy in promoting the social welfare. Our parents are in this stage right now. They are just putting their all energy. It may be that financial energies, it may be their physical energies, their every each and every energy in the household things. So because they do care for us, so that they just want from us that we can become something. Whatever they are doing, they are just doing for us only. So that means in this the positive development will be generativity. On the other hand, because the above stage is isolation, if the person is once isolated, then he is going to meet with the stagnation. Then the last stage is the old age. In the old age, this is from 65 till death. In this old age, the person's significant relationship is with mankind. Means he wants to talk with everyone now. Now he is like completely, you can say, uh, loses his senses mostly in that stage. But if the most important and the most beautiful thing about this stage is that in this because now he is in the old stage, and now he's not doing any job. In this stage, he has this acceptance of his life, that whatever he has done in his life, he started accepting the whole things. And when he is accepting his life as he has lived, it is going to give two results. Either he is going to face the ego integrity or despair. That means if he feels like yes, I have lived my life in a positive way, that is going to give him the proud moment, and yes, he'll feels like yes, I have lived my life in a positive way. On the other hand, if he feels like I just wasted my whole life on the others, or just buying doing this thing or that thing, I have not earned anything in my life, then this thing is going to give him or her depression or a state of despair. So basically, if you are able to see the last word of Erikson theory, that is wisdom. So that means wisdom comes at last. Yes, when he start accepting his life, that whatever he has done in his whole life, only then he'll be able to analysis. But the most important thing about this theory, I just love this theory. If this wisdom factor, if we are able to live our whole life by in this wisdom, that yes, this is my present moment, and yes, I can live this moment in a positive way. I start doing analysis, I start living mindfully in the each moment of my life, then yes, in the each moment I am going to live my life with full ego integrity, rather than facing that depression in the last stages. If we are going to use this wisdom immediately, whenever we just identify this factor, This is what I did in my personal life, that yes, when I was learning this theory, the thought came in my mind that it's not necessary that when I'll become 65 plus, then only then I'm going to accept my life, whatever I have done. No, now I feel like if in the daily routine I am going to analysis my life, that whatever I am doing in my day to day activities, if I am going to live my life in a mindful way, then definitely I'll be able to live my life in more ego integrity, rather than living with some depressions or some you can say negative feelings. So this is all about Erikson's 8 life stages. I hope these stages are clear to everyone. If you'll have any doubt, you can just ask me in the comment section. Till then, take care. Bye bye. In the next class, we will be talking about the next approach, that is social learning approach and humanistic approach.